So hi everyone, thanks for opening this video. You probably already know who I am. You're probably the person on the other side of the screen who said, Toni, we want you to restart your vlog and let us know how your journey is going. So my journey, which I started about 4 years ago, was to become a single mom using donated sperm IVF, right? Via IVF. I started this journey in my late 30s, and one of the promises I made to myself was that by the time I hit age 40, I would have successfully completed this journey. And now here I am at age 40, about to turn 41 in September, and I'm basically still at the start of this journey. And that's one of the things that's just been so hard for me to get the courage to even vlog about it, because I feel like I haven't reached anywhere to vlog about the part of the journey that people want to know about. But my mom said to me one day that even if you are at the start of your journey, you're 1% in, 10% in, there's two things that you should consider. One, there is someone out there who's still at the start line, and they've not reached that 1% or 2% in the journey, and they probably need your encouragement and your help to get started. And two, there is someone out there who doesn't know where the start line is to even start the journey. And that's the thing with what I'm going through with single mom by choice, IVF, is that there is information, but there's not a lot of ready information. So unless you know, you're really not going to know. And so with that encouragement, I've really decided to buckle down and start this vlog, because even though I'm not there yet where I want to be, at least maybe it will give someone else the courage to get started on this journey as well, right? Because information is power, and in something like this, you really do need the information so that you can make some decisions going forward. So like I said, I'm Toni. I'm trying to start this journey as a single mom by choice, and I am currently age 40, right? So I've done a few things already. I've done some pre-testing to figure out where I am physically and hormonally to start the journey. And I've also gone through the process of choosing an IVF doctor and purchasing the donated sperm, right? So that's done. I'm basically now at the start of where I'm doing some IVF testing now, to get me started on that journey, and hopefully that journey will start in September if my current hormonal tests are good enough. But I will get into the detail of what those tests are and the levels that I need to be at to even get started on the process. For now, I wanted to create this video just to explain some of the things that I've had to gone through for the last 3 years to get me to this stage. I was having some pain, and I decided to figure out what was going on. I was about 27, I think, at the time, and my grandaunt said, you need to get an ultrasound because our family have a history of fibroids and endometriosis. It was the first time I was hearing what that was. Anyway, I did the testing, and I did have fibroids, right? So at the time I was asking the doctor, what do I need to do, right? They said, you know what, you can take out the fibroids now, but the amount of fibroids that we're seeing, it's going to really affect your uterus, and we really shouldn't try and take it out until you know exactly you're going to have a baby 6 months later, right? Other than that, you should take medication to manage the pain. So I went with the option to take medication and manage the pain. And I was doing that from about age 27 to age 37. So 10 years of pain. And for those of you know, with fibroids, not only do you get that bulge in the stomach that makes you look like you're pregnant, it's very debilitating in terms of when you have your period. It's very heavy, or your period is very long. I myself had 7-day periods, and it was just so heavy. You have to be changing 6 pads per day just to get through it, right? And you take pain meds and your back hurt, and it's just a whole thing, right? But I'll get into the details of the fibroids itself in another video. So transitioning from there, I was managing the fibroids with pain meds and making very selective food choices at that point. We rolled around to 2020, just we're in the nick of COVID. And I decided at that point, you know, I'm really gonna get serious about this. I think I'm older, a little wiser, and I started looking for direct information on the fibroids, how to get rid of them. And I actually found an Instagram post of a doctor who said he treated women with fibroids. And I said, okay, yeah, let me do this. Made an appointment, went to see the doctor, really nice doctor. But I didn't choose the doctor for personal reasons. I just didn't feel like he would be the doctor for me, because at this time I was thinking not only remove fibroids but get pregnant as a single mom by choice. So I really wanted a doctor who could help with that entire journey, not just removing the fibroids, right? So in the end, I decided not to use that doctor, and I continued my search. In continuing my search, I saw a article about endometriosis and fibroids, and they were talking about the Hugh Winter Fertility Unit, right? So I went by Hugh Winter, tried to make an appointment, but they were booked, right? I wasn't able to get an appointment right there. There was like a waiting list. But one of the nurses said to me, it's easier if you speak with a fertility doctor first and then have the doctor refer you to Hugh Winter, right? That way your doctor themselves can help you on the journey. And I was like, okay. And they gave me a list of doctors, right? And I went through the list and I did some research on them, because they're actually on internet, Instagram pages, news articles, stuff like that. And I found one that I was like, okay, I think this doctor would understand, right? And I made an appointment. Now I had to wait 1 month to actually see the doctor. But that wait was really anxious, but it was a good wait period for me, because I was able to start researching IUI, intrauterine insemination, and IVF, intravitreal fertilization, and started looking at Hugh Winter Fertility Clinic to just figure out what they offered in Jamaica and what my options were and what I could and could not achieve using them. Right? So they have a website. I believe it's ivfjamaica.com, but I'll put the link up just in case I'm getting the website wrong at this point. Once I met the doctor, her name is Dr. Michelle Bailey. She works at Gynae 360, which is in the Kingston 6 area on Old Hope Road. Right, I'll put the information in the description if you want to reach out and make an appointment with her. I felt very comfortable with the doctor. right? I remember meeting her, and yes, we were talking about fibroids, and we're talking about endometriosis, because I was telling her maybe I had that as well. And she said to me, yes, fibroids and endometriosis, but what is it that you want to achieve on this journey here with me, right? And I said, Dr. Bailey, I want to be a mom, right? And she said, so do you have a partner? And I said, no, I have no partner. And she said, well, don't worry about that. We have sperm at the bank that you can just buy. And we started laughing. And I remember thinking, no judgment. Whether you have a partner or you don't have a partner, that's quite fine with her. We're here to achieve your goal of becoming a mom. And that really resonated with me, that she understood why I was here. It wasn't just to remove fibroids and endometriosis or anything like that. It was to become a mom. And I really liked that. My first appointment with her was really good, and I felt really positive bringing her along on this journey that I was going through, right? So she's been my doctor throughout this entire time for the last 3 years. I scheduled my fibroids appointment with her, my fibroid surgery, with her about 6 months later. It took a while to get the surgery date. That's one, because it was during COVID, right? So you had to do a COVID test, you had to make sure the lab was available, and removing fibroids is an elective surgery, so it wasn't high on the list of surgeries in Jamaica that you could really do during COVID, which I understood, right? So that took a while to process all of that, get the date. Even on the day of the surgery, there was a mix-up. They couldn't find my file at uni, and they had to reschedule it for the week after, so that was a little tense. But we finally got, I remember I had to do my COVID test twice just to get back my surgery date. Not fun, but we got through that. And I remember when I came out of surgery, Dr. Bailey was like, we found fibroids, yes, big ones, right? But what's more important is that we found endometriosis, which is really what was causing the excruciating back pains that I was having every month. And Dr. Bailey said we got rid of about 98% of the endometriosis, but it's something that's always going to grow back, so we're gonna manage that with Luprin injections. And then later on she moved me on to Visan tablets, which is 1 per day, but I'll get into details of that in another video, right? So since then, that's what we were doing. So after my surgery, 6 months in, I was feeling better. We came back and we're like, yes, we're ready to start the IVF process, right? So Dr. Bailey ran some tests, and she routed me to the Hugh Winter Fertility Clinic to order sperm. I will do another video explaining the entire sperm purchasing process, which is simpler than you think, right? And then I remember my results came back, and Dr. Bailey says, there is no thyroid activity, and that concerns me. And I'm like, thyroid? What's my thyroid? At this point, I didn't even know what thyroid was, right? But she says basically it's the hormone that it's the organ that regulates all your hormones, and you need it in order to release eggs, create embryos, carry a pregnancy, etc. And mine was pretty much dead. She's like, it's not registering any activity, right? And so she did a few visual tests on my eyes and my throat and everything like that. And then she says, we're gonna have to run some more tests. And she sent me to do some tests that they had to send overseas to come back. and that test was about, I think, like $300 plus US, right, to go overseas and come back. And those tests revealed that I have Graves' disease, right? I will get into the history of what Graves is and what it affects in terms of your fertility, but for now, Graves' disease. And Dr. Bailey had to refer me to a endocrinologist. I believe that's the phrase, but I'll put the word up if I'm getting it wrong, right? And I basically spent 2 years with that doctor trying to resuscitate my thyroid. It just kept going from really high levels to really low levels, and it just took a while to figure out how to get my thyroid working. So for the past maybe 6 months, my thyroid levels have been really good. I've had to manage it with medication. I'll do a whole video on that to let you know the medication I'm taking, how much I'm taking, where I get access to it, and things like that. So just in case thyroid function becomes an issue for you in your fertility journey there. Because what happened is the medicine that I'm taking, I can only take this thyroid drug because I'm trying to get pregnant. If it was just the thyroid that I was trying to manage, they would put me on some other form of drug, right? We've moved me up on the IVF journey in terms of doing all the tests. So I did all my hormone tests again. I did all the sexual transmitted diseases tests, you know, to see if you have AIDS or anything like that. And the only thing I'm having trouble with now is my prolactin levels are coming back too high, right? Which again, that is affected by the thyroid, the Graves' disease. And my DHEA levels came back low, so I'm now having to take, so there is a whole list of supplements that you can take to improve egg quality, hormone functions, and a whole other things. So, but I will do a separate video on all those tablets and supplements that I am taking to improve my body as I prepare for IVF. But right now, I'm trying to work on my prolactin and my DHEA levels. That's really gonna affect when I start, right? I will also discuss during this video series, let's call it that, a video series, how to find the right doctor, my entire decision-making process for becoming a single mom by choice, because that decision in itself is difficult. I will talk about the weight gain, choosing sperm, choosing the supplements that are going to be right for you, the need for a support system. You're going to need one, whether it's people who are physically around you, an online community, or you're going to support yourself through like this medium, through vlogging or writing a blog, etc. And I'm also going to give updates as I start the process. So after doctor visits, what's happening after medical procedures, how that went, so you can have an idea step by step with me as this happens, right? I don't know where the journey is gonna end. That's the thing with IVF. Not all journeys end with you becoming a mom and having a baby. So everybody's journey is gonna be different. I'm just gonna take you on mine, and we see where it goes, where it ends. All right, thanks everyone for watching this video, and I will update videos every Sunday, so you can look forward to those. Thanks for watching. Bye.